Mike is in. I set on him sideways. Crease.
We thank you, Paul, for that. Everyone has a crease.
Very good, sir. Goodbye.
Oh, looks like I'm fired, folks, today. Well, anyways, welcome to P2 Plays, the place where we play card games, video games, and miniature games. Here at P2 Collectibles, we try to give out the best jokes around. Dad jokes everywhere, kids. Dad jokes everywhere. But anyways, all our players are setting up today. We have 16 players. Starting up for us is Zen with All Guys Despia. Remember, I don't know if that's Alter Guys Despia or... But anyways, then we have Pendulums for Jeff, especially now with Beyond the Pendulum out and... Okay, and we now have our last opponent here. Everyone is finishing setting up, so we're going to get the timer going. But anyways, welcome to another hectic day. 16 people. I'm glad we're not going 5 rounds. As much as it's Memorial Day weekend, I still have a life besides talking to you all about the Yu-Gi Mons.
Tyler, I predict ties in 5 rounds.
In 5 rounds, even though we only have 4? There seems to be some discrepancy over there, Paul. I thought you were math. I thought you majored in math over there. 16. Alright, well, everyone is almost looking ready, so I'm gonna throw the timer here for everyone, and we will begin. Alright, welcome here as we begin our 40 minutes here at P2 Collectibles. I still quite enjoy playing up here in the thing, but anyways, let's see what we have. So far we have Pendulum Graph, an oldie but a classic for back in the days when Pendulum was the meta of the format. But anyways, we're going to start with an Pendulum Graph, and then we're going to start with a Pendulum Call. That's going to allow Jeff to grab a Pendulum, I think a Pendulum Magician monster to his hand. And the other magician, I believe, can pop the other scale, as long as I believe it's a magician monster. But anyways, that's probably that. So anyways, he's going to go the tuning magician here. Again, it's basically the nice tuner for the pendulums. So anyways, he's going to activate the other magician. It's going to pop itself. And it's going to pop itself in the pendulum zone, and then that's going to allow Jeff to go for another search. I believe that also should be able to trigger Pendulum Graph as well. I believe this is probably going to get Chronograph. Let's see, because Astrograph is limited now, back once again limited, and then Chronograph I believe is at 3. But we'll have to see what he is going to grab here. It looks like a double Iris Magician that was one time limited, then one time semi, then now it is completely off the list because. Anything, but anyways, it looks like Time Graph is here. I think if a Pendulum Magician monster is destroyed in its scale, he gets to search out a Pendulum Magician monster and add it to his hand, which I believe is how you searched out the Astrograph back in the day. Because the Astrograph, I believe, searches out the Chronograph. I can't truly remember how all these Pendulum played. It's been a long time since I've ever played Pendulum. I can still remember the days of Pendulum. The power of it when Pepe was truth, but maybe, who knows, maybe we'll see some monkey boy. It looks like we're going to I forget his name, but he's a black something magician. I mean, there's about 1,000 different magician monsters. But anyways, it looks like then we're going to of course add back the good old magician. He of course popped in thing. We're gonna go for a pendulum summon here. Here comes the summon of Purple Magician, the black, and Tuning. All to the revealed. The Tuning Magician is going to trigger here. That is going to allow him to get, I believe, a trap card to his hand. I think that gets Time Graph, if I'm remembering how any of this works. Or maybe they just get a monster. I can't actually remember how half of these Pendulum monsters work. I mean, I faced enough in Master Duel, but not really. Back in Master Duel, though, you could play Electromite. You can't play Electromite here. But we do have Beyond the Pendulum. No, it's just special summons. Okay, so Double Irish Magician is coming down here, and I believe it cannot be... If it's tuned, I believe it's Synchro Summoned. I believe it's then it's sent to the I think it's banished. At some point, it gets banished. I know that for the Tuning Magician. But it looks like we're going to be. Looks like Jeff is just taking some time to figure out what he wants to do here. Again, Beyond the Pendulum is the new Pendulum monster for the deck to truly use. They can't. Again, Electromite being banned still hurts the deck. Trust me, I think without a doubt, having Electromite banned is without a doubt a good thing. But then again, Beyond the Pendulum isn't all great either, because the fact is it needs to even trigger much of its effect, because you have to Pendulum Summon from. I've read it. It's a very interesting card. You can add a Pendulum monster to your hand, and then on resolution, if you don't Pendulum Summon, you basically get screwed there. So anyways, we're going to go to one of the Magician XYZ. I believe it's a remove a material and add a Magician Pendulum monster to your hand. I can't actually remember it, but hey, that's what it's for. I mean, my gosh. But anyways, we also are here doing this while YCS Hartford is doing it. So I hope that you are joining in while watching over at Hartford. Hartford's been going on a lot longer than we have. So it looks like Jeff is not deciding to overlay those two. Maybe he's deciding on a link play. That's the question of the day. But anyways, you've never seen Pendulums. They actually don't ever go to the... there's very few times a Pendulum monster actually goes to the graveyard. So anyways, when a Pendulum monster is summoned, it always goes to the extra deck. That was the concept of Pendulum Summon. But anyways, we have 𝐂𝐍𝐕𝐃 triggering off here, taking, of course, the black and purple Magicians to make 𝐂𝐍𝐕𝐃. 𝐂𝐍𝐕𝐃 looks like it's going to be resolving here, going for its play to special summon out a tuner. That tuner, of course, will have its effects negated. So again, I believe that's Tuning Magician. I believe there's tuner. I know there's two different tuner like magician monsters. But anyways, looks like he's going to be triggering the magician monster. His Magician XYZ here to remove a material. Again, the material actually doesn't get to go to the extra deck, so it does add a that is Perform a Pal. I think it's just to add a Pendulum monster to your hand. So anyways, we have Perform a Pal, Skorkaback Joker. Anyways, we have normal summon, by the way. So Skorkaback Joker coming down to the field. Again, the Pendulum summon was when everything went to defense. That allows you to add a Pendulum monster to your hand. That's going to add... oh my gosh, who is that guy again? He's another magician. It's Performer Pal something. He was back when Pepe format was like the format to play. So we have looks like a synchro summon. No, not a synchro summon. This has to be a so we're gonna go for Appaloosa. Appaloosa for 3 here. Not a bad app here. Got an app for 3. So we got 3 monster negates for entirely the turn, and it looks like that's just a pass, and we're going to be drawing here. So it's going to be interesting with this Allgeist Despia. If this is Altergeist, that's what I'm probably expecting it to be, but who knows? There's like hundreds of different things. So anyways, we are just moving forward. We have a Patchwork. Of course, that is a common staple right now for all Despia decks. It gets you gets you into a chain and then gets you into a polymerization, which again you can use to then start the whole Despia engine, which is basically if you think about like the Despia engine, as right now, it's all just the branded stuff from Alabaster strike structure deck. That's truly what the deck truly is this day. But I have to go run to a judge call, so enjoy this game. Apologies. I had a few judge calls I had to go do. I know you couldn't really hear the players for a minute there, but anyways, it looks like we just have an old Mirror Jade coming down on Zin's side of the field. It looks like Mirror Jade is attempting to trigger its effect. Appaloosa is going to negate that. I'm not exactly sure what Zin targets with Mirror Jade, but again, Mirror Jade is a quick effect to banish one card on opponent's side of the field. Again, you cannot trigger that. Trigger that the next turn, basically on Jeff's turn. You cannot trigger. Now the question is, with that being negated, it could have truly go through, but I don't believe that it is. Truth told the way. Okay, so we got. It looks like maybe actually Appaloosa triggered twice here, so it might have actually been one. But anyways, it looks like Mirror J just ran over the Appaloosa. I heard it was at 8, so it looks like Appaloosa actually triggered twice. So anyways, it looks like we're going to send the Alaban. Alaban, of course, will be able to trigger at the end of the turn for its good old effects. And you know, you gotta love that. So anyways, it looks like we have looks like that got the XYZ got banished off. So again, looks like we're gonna go for another polymerization. I mean, I don't think, no, we've only just been starting the poly engine. So it looks like we got Mirror Jade, one of the Despia monster that allows it to gain effects, and it also gets something else in grave. And we're gonna go Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera is going to be able to destroy 3 things on the field. Of course, on the field. And then Mirror Jade looks like it came out here, and then Guardian Chimera is going to be able to draw Zin 3 cards because the 3 things were used for its summon. And then it's going to draw 3 cards, and it's going to get. So it looks like it's just going to pop the old star off. So we'll just have to see exactly how Zin's going to continue this. So far, we haven't seen his other aspect of his deck. We're only really seeing the Despia engine, but again, the Despia engine is extremely strong. It is probably the best deck of format. I mean, well, more or less, I guess it's the branded engine. But I guess, I don't know. I don't know if it truly we can call it sub Despia or it's branded, but it doesn't really matter. So it looks like we got 2 face downs. And then looks like Alabon is going to trigger here again. It allows him to get a Despia card to his hand. Again, if it's into the graveyard, that's just the nature of it. So it looks like he's going. No, it's allows in the set. So it looks like he said a trap card there. I doubt he said brand. It might have been branded in red from what I saw. I don't know. It looked red. So I guess they're red. They're not really red, but the reddish looking card. That's a trap. But again, if this is Alter, guys, then it makes complete sense. This is a trap heavy deck. It is a trap heavy deck here, and that is the nature of it. So what does the looks like I think we're still in the standby here. And again, if you're returning from Yu-Gi-Oh and you remember Pendulum Summons back in the day, Pendulum Summoning back in the day was not the same as it is today. Pendulum Monsters still, even with Master Rule 5, Pendulum Monsters still must go to the extra monster zone. They cannot just Pendulum Summon out onto the field. I mean, back in the day, you actually had 2 random zones called Pendulum Zones that were on like the side of board, and then you had 5 spell and trap zones. And then when they went to Link Summoning, they put the Pendulum Zones as a spot for spell and trap, and then forced anything Pendulum to come out, because again, all the Pendulum monsters are considered extra deck monsters. So now we have a Pen 4. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like everything came out of his hand on Pendulum Summon. Nothing coming from the extra deck. Alright, so, apologies, I went off. It looks like we're just resolving everything. It looks like a couple things got resolved here. It looks like a pendulum zone got popped, and it looks like, well, I guess you all get to know what happened. I don't really get to know what happened. But it looks like there was no response to the mass out summoning of each of the things. By the way, Mirror Jade also, I believe is live because this is not considered. This is a hard once per turn, but I believe it's attached to the Mirror Jade that activates it. So I think the game should not recognize the fact that a Mirror Jade was triggered. If it did, I'd have to. We'd have to think about how that works. But anyways, we of course still have 3 pendulum monsters on the field. 1 pendulum, Odolph, magician over there, and of course it still has 3 back row, a chimera, which is 30. Alright, so it looks like we're going to overlay. It looks like we're going to go to Tornado. Tornado is going to trigger to pop one of the said back row. Again, really strong, just good XYZ card. I believe it's also like 2400 defense. So now we're going to go Super Poly. Super Polying everything away. So when we got the branded card to search out, we're going to get rid of Double Iris Magician and the Guardian Chimera. And we're going to be going into the Predaplant monster, and of course now it's going to give a Predaplant counter over into the shoot, what's his name? Tornado. So anyways, then we're gonna normal summon this Performer Pow monster probably off of the main Pepe Performer Pow. That looks like Dante with a he joined the circus. As I'm trying to remember who that name was, I know it was a Pepe staple card in the day. So it looks like we got a chaining here of an effect. So it looks like we're going to be. So it looks like he's special summoning a Death Spirit. That's a tragedy, and it looks like they're going to banish both of them. Oh, that's a very interesting card effect. And then of course, actually just then it's just going to also fusion into Masquerade. Oh man. Despias, everyone. You gotta love them. They just fusion summon all over the place. Spill monsters. Spill all the good fusion monsters everywhere. But anyways, we do, of course, have a couple packs to open as always, as we see Zen here resolving, and I'm pretty sure we're just scooping that one up. All right, Jeff. Good try there. I don't know what... Alright, apologies, I had to go scream out. But then, of course, taking game 1, we didn't really see the other nature of his game, as we have 1 win already. So,
Mason got it.
Couple more, couple wins here. As we got, Alright, so we have our players here siding out real quick again. We couldn't see Jeff really do a lot of what we wanted Pendulum to do. We didn't even see beyond the Pendulum. Representing that's probably the new major looking card, being of course one and only Jeff's one and only. We didn't really get to see it, and of course everyone is calling the new Electromite, but it doesn't really do what Electromite did for the Pendulum decks back in the day. But oh well, you just gotta move forward with the times. But anyways, today is a mat tournament. So anyways, we got 2 nice looking mats. I'll show you if we can get a break here. I'm not exactly completely sure. That truly depends on all of this. Well, it matters on our main stream duel here. It doesn't matter about everyone else. I guess it kind of does, because, well... But anyways, I also have a couple packs here, a couple OTS 18. We'll open up an older looking pack. I have my collection, and of course I have Dimensional Force which is, of course, legal right now. Of course, we're streaming the first tournament with Dimensional Force being fully legal. We're also streaming the first tournament where the new ban list is been effective for right now 2 weeks. Or maybe a week. It was the 17th. Today's the 28th. So yeah, it's been like a week. So anyways, we're gonna activate this Performer Pal here. Or no, this is look at this magician, but if he's anything in your scale, he can special summon himself to the field. But anyways, right, this was back when the Abyss stuff was here. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, we're gonna go activate a chronograph. Sorcerer, a chronograph is gonna pop itself to set the magician it requires to be set. Oh, one of the weirder pendulum magicians. Oh, the place I am not exactly sure. It doesn't really. But anyways, no, this is going to special summon the. No, that's Gazer magician, I believe. Is that Gazer? Or is Gazer the other one? It doesn't really matter. Here we go. I believe this is going to summon Beyond the Pendulum. Yes, here I believe we're about to see Beyond the Pendulum. This, of course, is a card from Diffo. The one only Diffo. The Dimensional Force. Of course, a set I was most excited about because of all the Weather Painters. But funny enough, I won't even be able to really test my Weather Painter deck here at Locals well until after the Digimon Regional season. So that's going to be a little sad. I was really hoping, but oh well. I'm playing up for that top 16 to get that invite so that we can go to the next nationals. Got to keep playing. But anyways, we're going to grab a Purple Poison Magician, and then we're going to be Drolling locking after adding a Purple Eyes Magician to from it. And of course, I believe if you don't Pendulum Summon afterwards, Beyond the Pendulum, it stops all monster effects, and then basically I think it stops all the effects of any Pendulum monster. All your Pendulum scales, so yeah, it's kind of this. So it looks like he did get, but anyways, on effect resolution, he's just going to go here for the Pendulum Summoning, then out the Tuning Magician. Tuning Magician is then going to allow him to special summon out a Magician here. Very good. Is it Tuning Magician or Tuner Magician? It's a Magician monster that is a tuner. And then, of course, if two monsters are pendulum summoned to zones that the Beyond the Pendulum has, it can pop that many cards on the field. So 2 cards basically because it's got 2 spots. Or 2 arrows, I guess I should say. But yeah, so looks like we of course added a card. I wasn't exactly paying attention to see what card he exactly added, or no, it looks like did he special summon the chronograph? I can't tell. So anyways, it looks like we're going to go for another Link summon here. Of course, Beyond the Pendulum is a 2. So anyways, we're going to go linking into a 3 here. What exactly is R3? We'll have to see. No word on anymore. It looks like Dagda? Is that Dagda? I'm not exactly sure. Yes, it does actually look like Dagda. So it looks like we have, of course, now Dagda triggering Double Iris Magician is going to trigger as well, targeting the Chronograph Magician so that it can pop itself. Okay, it looks like not, because I think we must have read the card right. It looks like double. But anyways, it looks like, so we got Dagda out, we still got the Chronograph, and we still got a Tuning Magician and a black, the other last Black Flag Magician? I don't remember. Anyways, it's a 4, and I believe the Tuning Magician is a 4 as well, so you can overlay those two to go into an X. And go into, of course, an XYZ. And of course, Dagda still has not triggered, which is kind of. So it actually looks like we're just going to go for a Link summon here to summon an 𝐒𝐍𝐿 and 𝐒𝐿 is going to trigger to, of course, special summon out a tuner and have its specs negated. And of course, it looks like they were, of course, chaining the Dagda effect to set a scythe to the field as well. So basically giving Zen a very good tell there of the fact if that scythe is popped and special summoned, Zen will not be able to special summon from his extra deck. Again, not exactly a very big devastation toward the Despia side. Because Despias need to go into their Mirror Jades or Alabas. Alaban, Lubian, doesn't really matter. Everything comes from the extra deck force. So it looks like then we're going to go into an Appaloosa. I believe that is just an Appaloosa 4-2. Most, and then we have a set. So we know for a fact Lawn's set is we know what the first set is. That is the closest from purple eye magician, or however you say his name. It has an unknown set, and then the next set there is a scythe that is in essence public knowledge if you remember it. And you can't ask what your opponent what that set is, but because after it's set face down, it's not considered public knowledge. It's now considered a set card. And so you can't really ask your opponent what the set card is, or if that was in fact the scythe, but you just gotta be a little cautious about that. I'm not exactly sure how this deck pops it. So anyway, it looks like we have yet another branded card. I've never seen this one. It looks like we may have chaining with good old Hulk Boy. Again, being able to then quick effect banish itself to synchro summon out, and then this is TG Wonder Magician, and then TG Wonder Magician can then trigger to the okay. So that's how you pop the scythe, and then the scythe effect gets the trigger itself, and then it's going to special summon. So anyways, it looks like the spell card is a continuous spell card, and now we have Trap, and now the TG Wonder Magician and the Scythe are now going to go tune themselves, because as soon as TG Wonder Magician has resolved its effect, it can then, and it looks like we're just going to go to game 3 there. Jeff taking the win thanks to getting out that Baron, and of course Scythe locking Zen. You gotta love how Dagda into Scythe is a thing. But I guess that's just the way the truth of the game when Scythe is still in the game and still locking people out from especially something from the extra deck, which, like I said, is a very strong aspect of the game here. A lot of decks cannot play without an extra deck. Sure, there's stuff like True Dracos that can do it, but Scythe locking basically is a hard counter to a lot of decks. And how that's so very legal in the TCG is very surprising to me, because it doesn't exactly open much of the way of interaction. The TCG has been a lot about interactions and stuff like that. We have a few games here left. Besides, of course, our featured match right here, that being Zin and Jeff. Hope you all been enjoying. I know I haven't gotten out much Yu-Gi-Oh content. I do have a deck list from Gage, our third place contestant, a couple weeks back. I need to put up. I probably am not going to put up the a highlight stream of that week's tournament, just because there was a bunch of debacling nature in, and I really just don't want you all to have to listen to that or have to watch me deal with that or hear it or anything like that. So if you do want to check it out, it's up on the Twitch channel. If you do want to watch it, but it will not be going up onto YouTube. I have decided to make that choice. It's not a good video, and I'm not really impressed with it, and I have no interest to make it so. But anyways, here we go for Game 3 between Zen and Jeff, Pendulum and All Guys Despia. I'm pretty sure maybe I should probably change the name, thinking maybe now I believe. But anyways, it looks like we have the branded fusion here triggering as well. Looks like we're going to send a tragedy, and of course you have to send a fallen alabaz to resolve this. That is part of the card text right into the branded fusion card. But anyways, let's see where this goes from here. Anyways, that's going to make Lubin. Lubin is then going to trigger to pitch a card, and then allow the fusion summon of another fusion monster. A lot of times this is how you get into Mirror Jade. I mean, ending on a Mirror Jade is not all bad of a first turn end, just because of the way Mirror Jade is. A 3K beat stick, and then of course we're gonna also chaining there. Of course, is tragedy, so allowing him to get to a Despia card as well. All right. So we have, of course, we'll have to really see how this goes forward now, as we see Luben now triggering here. That I didn't really see what tragedy threw into his hand. He's triggering here. He's got to shuffle stuff back. Then, of course, it's being a little bit because of the time. Looks like we are going to go Mirror Jade, as I have expected the way. And of course, like I said, he did get whatever he pulled off of Tragedy, which of course is a Despia monster. Whether or not he got the Jester is probably what he did. So anyways, now we're going to trigger Patchwork. This is going to get him Chain and Polymerization to his hand, so that he can continue a few interesting plays if he so wishes. So anyways, we got Chain and that Polymerization coming to his hands. So we'll have to see. Now, where do we go from here? Now we have a Chain of Polymerization and probably the Jester. I mean, you can still probably do everything with the Jester in hand. Of course, playing the Jester does allow you to get to a Despia card, like branded in red, and or the Theater. But we'll have to see how exactly Zen decides to move forward with this board state. So I'm not exactly seeing where he's going to go with the board state. So, So now we have Brandon opening. That's going to allow him to discard a card and then add a Despia monster to his hand. And then, I believe after it resolves, your opponent cannot respond to the fusion. Cannot, in essence, stop the fusion summoning. But anyway, now we're going to have the Jester come down. Jester is on normal or special summon to add a Despia card to his head. It looks like he's going to go branded in red here. And it looks like we're going to trigger just Polymerization. The Chain and the Jester are going to go off, and that's going to make... It's probably going to make Masquerade Dragon. Yeah, let's make a Masquerade Dragon. Again, any monster effect is activated, Jeff will be burned for 600 damage. Trust me, I've seen two of these things go together, and you can do 1200 damage at Master Duel. It's icky when it goes off, but it's very effective, especially with time coming down to the wire. It's a very strong card. Very strong card. And it looks like we're just going to end on that. A Masquerade Dragon and a Mirror Jade. Again, that Mirror Jade also being able to trigger this turn to banish a card on the field. Quick effect at quick effect speed, so spell speed 2. So we'll have to literally see how Jeff gets through this, because he is now under the condition of getting his life points removed, as long as that Masquerade Dragon is fine. Now, Masquerade Dragon can only do it as long as it's fusion summoned on the field, so even removing it one time does remove it completely. Does remove that, but we'll have to see. So anyways, we're going to send down the Oath Magician here. That's going to then burn for 600, because again, by the way though, that is triggering an effect, as now we trigger Pendulum Call. No, that's not Pendulum Call, that's Duelist something. Pendulum Call's another card. I think Pendulum Call's a hard once per turn. So we really have to see. But anyways, this is going to add, again, that is already 1200 already done to Jeff.
Said no targets. Okay, fine. I'll make it easy for Paige. Come here, Jolene.
I mean, it is a problem right now. Jeff definitely does not have a way out of this. I mean, if he Dark Rule no more, even Dark Ruler on trigger would still burn for the 600. That's the problem. I mean, that is the absolute problem right now, is the fact that I don't think Jeff actually has a way out of this. His pendulum monsters all have to trigger for effects, so he places any other pendulum scale, it will burn him. He can, if he summons and activates any again, it's an activation of any effect, spell, trap, or monster. So 𝐶𝐓𝐃𝐃 Joker is triggering here. That's of course going to be burned for another 6. As 𝐶𝐓𝐃𝐃 Joker is now resolving his effects, so meaning that just because he's normal summon doesn't get you the burn, but if you go for 𝐶𝐓𝐃𝐃 Joker effect, that gets you the burn. So already 3 burns on Jeff. He's definitely gonna have to try to find a way to thing. So anyways, now we're gonna activate mirror. So anyways, it looks like now we have double Irish Magician. Mirror Jade did trigger sending Alabun to the graveyard to banish off the 𝐶𝐓𝐃𝐃 Joker. Jeff can only really now pendulum summon from anything, and now we're going to trigger branded in red here. I believe it's either Jeff has passed a turn or moved into a different phasing, so that will allow, and then those 3 will get banished off. That's going to, of course, make like Chimera, and then Chimera here is going to trigger as well. So Alabin is. So then, of course, now we have Tragedy, the Alabin, and of course, guarding Chimera is also triggering as well. So Tragedy getting him a card, Alabin being able to special summon out back the Mirror Jade, and then guarding Chimera is going to draw, and then hit the board. So this should be very interesting exactly how this goes, because now we're going to pop off the Oath Magician, and we're going to start off with a purple Eyes Magician, but again, that's another burn there, because again, that is an activation of an effect triggering. Now we're going to Pendulum Summon to a Tuning Magician, and then Oath Magician. Yeah, I'm about to call that out. The Oath Magician does need to go into the extra monster zone, because it was special summoned from the extra deck. Looks like the Tuning Magician is triggering here again, burning for another 600, so that again it can trigger its effects if special summon a Magician monster. But anyways, so it looks like, of course, the Mirror Jade here. Wow, the Mirror Jade must be a soft once per turn per. Must be a soft once per turn per Mirror Jade. I didn't think that, but I haven't read a fully Mirror Jade quite some time, whether or not it actually has a once per turn. But I just don't know if Jeff can really get this. He's definitely been burned quite hard. Mirror Jade triggering. It looks like Jeff's gonna take a quick look over in that good old graveyard of Zen, but I really don't know how he gets this again. Being the fact that he's being burned by the Masquerade Dragon, he just goes for another effect. It looks like we're going to be moving forward. At the end phase, it looks like we have the effect of the Despia monster that was, of course, sent to the graveyard, triggering. Of course, all of them do add a Despia card to hand or special summon a Despia card. So anyways, we're going to summon Fallen Alabaz. Fallen Alabaz has an effect on normal or special summon. You can then pitch one card from your hand and then fusion summon it with one of your opponent's cards into a fusion monster. Yeah, consider that the insanity of it. So Purple Eyes Magician is going to be fusion off with the Alabaz, because Alabaz has to go for the fusion summon here. So yeah, so it looks like that's going to go, and that's going to make another Lubin, and then Lubin. So this is gonna be so and I think Lubin's actually gonna trigger here. Yeah, he pitched out a super poly for the Lubin. So Lubin is going to start its shuffling. So the fallen Alabaz and the Lubin. I just think this is it for Zen. I think Zen's gonna take this game here in the time. Um, uh, with another Mirror J. All right, everyone, welcome to round two. Round two is here for us all. Quick, fast, simple, quick. We got Connor with more Exodia good stuff. The good stuff. Exodia man, Connor has proven that he can summon Exodia and wield the power of the almighty being of all of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. And then we have Nathan with PK Fire. Quite an amazing deck. It sounds like this is not going to be PK Fire with the Brave engine in there, but nonetheless, PK Fire is still an annoying deck. Trust me, I played enough of it in Master Duel to say it's quite a good deck. Anyways, it looks like our time, like everyone is ready to go, so it will be time to start the game here with some good stuff and some PK Fire. So it looks like we are ready to move here in round two. Oh my gosh, I was talking all that. I apologize. I was talking while I was muted. But anyways, what we saw there was Tornscale, and then Wheeler coming down. Tornscale is going to pitch off the boots, and then the boots are going to pitch off the cloak, and then those are going to go to Cherubini. Cherubini is going to pitch off, it looks like, I believe, Graph. Yeah, because Barbar is the other one they play, so yeah, there's Barbar. And it's Beer. Is it Barbar? Beer. God, I don't remember. But anyways, so now we have the Cherubini here. This is probably going to go into the one and only Rusty Bardish. Anyways, we have the other Psychic type deck, especially summon itself when you're at 3. Now we Rusty Bardish. He's allowed to add himself a Phantom Knight spell and trap card. So anyways, then Barbar here is going to trigger the special summon out of the Cherubini. Gotta make sure those chains are correct, kids. And then of course, if a monster is a dark Dark XYZ monster is summoned to a zone in point 2, it can destroy a card onto the field, which is still very possible. Haven't seen it done much, but I think it's still possible. But anyways, I think he's going to go in for the Fog Blade here. I have seen this deck play. So anyways, he's going to send the gloves. And then of course now we have gloves. Oh no, I guess they're going to go first. They always go to the Phantom Knight's trap card that can special summon itself from the spell and trap card zone. If you have no trap cards in your graveyard. So anyways, I believe he just banished out the cloak. The cloak gets banished out here, of course, going for a boots or I'm not exactly sure. Yes, it looks like the cloak, and of course now we're gonna be able to go boots. Yep, the cloak did banish itself for the boots. So now we have Regular Gloves getting banished out for its effect. Here to add, I believe, another Phantom Knight card to his hand. I believe almost all the Phantom Knights can banish himself from the grave to add a said Phantom Knights card to field. So anyways, it looks like he's going to send Fog Blade. No, he's going to send the wings. The wings here. So anyways, he's going to banish that. That's going to allow him to special summon boots. And then, of course, since the Phantom Knights card was banished, Torn Scales special summon itself to the field. So now he has 4 level 3 monsters. Lots of level 3 monsters there. And he still has the trap card to trigger. He still doesn't have any traps in his graveyard, so it does get the effect. It does get the effect. So we're going to have to see how this goes, as we, of course, have quite a lot of top players left. So anyways, here we go for, it looks like, an XYZ summon. Are we going into... Okay, so now we're going to go to Levineer effect, remove a material, and then you can add a special summon a banished monster. So then we're going to summon Cloak. Cloak effect is going to then target the turn itself in the 5th position, targeting Rusty Bardish. And then that's going to go into an XYZ summon of Dante. And then Dante is going to remove material to mill the top 3 cards of his deck. And then it gets effects for burning, I think burning Abysma. No, then it gets buffed. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. Most of the time, I think he's just doing it to mill cards to get effects into his graveyard. I don't really got this glare right now, even though I know for a fact we didn't have it in the first game, well, at least for the graveyard. But it doesn't matter as long as the main monster zone. So, anyways, we're going to then move what I believe is torn. Same thing. So it looks like nothing there, and looks like nothing. So I'm not exactly sure what he banished, but it didn't exactly look all that great to him. So it looks like now we're going to go up into F0 here. Again, it has to be 2 of the same monsters, and then we're going to go to F0 𝐒𝐿. So yeah, the big boy himself, that when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can move 1 material, negate the effect, and then take said monster if said monster is on the field. And I believe it's unaffected by all effects, so yeah, it's a nasty. So we'll have to see where it goes. Now, since there are no trap cards again, this Phantom Knight's card can special summon itself to the field, even though it was set that turn. That is aspect of the effect, as long as he does not control a trap card in his graveyard, which again, it doesn't help. Doesn't really matter. So anyways, we're going to go into IP. So we have now an IP on the field as well. So now we have an IP, Cherubini, F0 𝐒𝐿, and a Rusty Bardish. And that is it. No back row, so no Fog Blades, no nothing. And now we have... So anyways, we have a Mystic Mind going down. There was a question about triggering IP. You can't trigger IP once Mystic Mind comes down. When we have part of the... Oh my gosh, what is duality? So it looks like he milled, I think, in a duality and 2 pieces of Exodia. So he took 1 piece of Exodia. Again, he just needs to see all 5 in his good hand to officially resolve the good way of Exodia. But now Nathan has to deal with the fun of Mystic Mind. Like I said, not a lot of decks I think are really teching back row. removal. So I have no idea even if like Nathan is taking back row removal. I know for a fact. But now monster effects can't be triggered, but you can still trigger all your spells and traps and anything like that. And again, Mystic Mind does affect the player. So as long as the player who has more monsters in the field has more monsters in the field, they can't trigger. That does actually affect the player who played it as well. Really fun. It'd be pretty funny if the fact of if we could do it, if you could do anything with using like the old field spell days where your opponent you could only control one field spell at a time. So in essence, Mystic Mind would be removed if, in fact, Nathan had a way to have a field spell. But we're not in the old days of Yu-Gi-Oh! So anyways, we're just going to pass. I mean, it makes complete sense here unless you can find a way to remove. So anyways, got shot agreed. It's going to get a counter, of course, next draw phase. So Nathan is up a hill right now. The fact is he needs to find some form of removal to remove the Mystic Mind. Especially before Connor finds Field Bearer. Because once Field Bearer is up, you have to remove the Field Bearer first before you can remove the Mystic Mind. Field Bearer protects it as long as it sits up on the field. But again, Field Bearer is also dangerous. Because of the fact that you are... So anyways, then we're going to use Neo's fusion here. Then we're going to get Rainbow Neos. Funny enough, I think I can actually punch over 𝐓𝐷𝐿. The issue though is that Connor does have to be a little cautious of it because of the fact that if he starts controlling more monsters than Nathan does, or controls equal monsters than Nathan does, Mystic Mind does pop itself. Again, that is the one way to remove Mystic Mind. I know people hate the card, but give it credit. I know right now it's being played right now in YCS Hartford, which is kind of funny. People hate the card, but it keeps sliding right under the ban list every year. And I think the OCG has this card like literally banned. But who knows? It must not just be prevalent enough for the TCG to really consider it ban worthy. I know enough people hate it that you think that it'd be ban worthy, but you respect it. But I don't know. If you knew for a fact that you need a way to remove a card, but you knew for a fact your deck, and that is the out. So we're going to train and check Reckless Greed to, of course, the Feather Duster, but it looks like Nathan did pull this out. A one of out, but out nonetheless. Destroys all spells and trap cards on the field, so that does destroy the field spell, because that is considered a spell. So now Nathan does get full effect here. The problem is that 4,500 Rainbow Neos is up on the field, and currently nothing can hurt it. And 𝐓𝐷𝐿 can only actually take the monster if Rainbow Neos decides to trigger its effect. But I mean, you can still do a bunch of things to it. I mean, he does now have IP to chain in response to it. Alright, so it's going to be kind of interesting how Connor gets through this, especially since the Field Bearer was removed, as we take a bunch of things. Oh, I see. We're going to go Goddess of Underworld. Alright, and it looks like it is completely over for good old Connor there. Nathan pulling his out quick and fast there. Nathan quickly pulling out his out, being that one of Feather Duster. Very clutch just seeing that, within only a few turns too. It's kind of surprising that Rainbow Neos didn't decide to punch someone off the field. But anyways, Underworld Goddess was there attempting, it can take one of your opponent's monsters to link summon itself with. Again, that is a summoning condition on Underworld Goddess, not an effect actually being triggered. So can't actually respond with it with Rainbow Neos because it's a summoning condition, much like summoning conditions of the one and only kaijus and lava golems and all those people. So anyways, let's see how this goes. There's 0% chance that Connor is not going to be going first to try to set up his Mystic Mine. The greatest issue though he has is that by going first, he is at the mercy of trying to find a monster or some monster to put onto Nathan's side of the board so that Mystic Mine basically doesn't kill itself, as we see our players quickly deciding to cite out some cards and review some, see what they want to summon and want to use. As we move here, as we move through round 2. So we'll have to really see how this lines up, as we of course will be moving to 4 undefeateds here. So we'll have to see who's actually going to go first or second here. I would truly believe that if Connor was playing a deck with like the wobbly to go and place it on Nathan's side field, going first would be pretty nice, especially if you see the wobbly. I think I played a Mystic Mine deck where I was using like DPE. So you're triggering DPE and then using DPE's effect. Now it's not all that great because DPE doesn't exactly work well under Mystic Mine, but at least you know one thing: DPE is still very much the annoyance of a card. We'll see how well Nathan does here, as we see whether or not he can get through this battle. Again, I will be getting today's one of our winners deck list, but I don't know. I've been thinking about getting some other deck lists around, like maybe a runners-up, or maybe a very interesting looking sounding deck list, or something like that. So we'll have to see how I feel after all our rounds to see who I feel can go second, third. Now we have an Upstart Goblin starting up here, draw, giving Nathan an extra 1,000 life points there. I still can't believe that card was ever at 3 and is as 3 in a Master Duel. Someone has to tell me why that card needs to be at 3. Then we'll have a Pot of Duality, and we're going to hit that with an Ash Blossom. So that is going to negate Duality, stopping its effect from responding. Now we're going to go into a card destruction. Both players must discard 2 cards, and then they get to draw 2 cards. So they are required to do it. So anyways, both players pitching out their cards, and then they will draw 2. So it's still seeing interesting that Connor did decide to go first. I mean, Nathan's deck can prove to do an OTK. Can do an OTK as we start off with Tour Guide special summoning the Tour Guide triggering, and then the summon of the other guy, Tour Guide, of course, special summoning out the graph. Here, the Karuga coming out by effect as long as you control a you only special summon. So anyways, it looks like our players are talking about the summon of the monster that was next to Tour Guide before Tour Guide resolved its effect. You expect to summon the one guy as long as your monster that you control is level 3. And of course, Tour Guide is level 3. So anyways, we have Cherubini. Cherubini is going to trigger to send the Barbar. No, special summon the... No, so it looks like he's not going to pitch it because he already had the graph in hand. So anyways, the Barbar. the Barbar, how the heck you say is whoever this demon of hell is. But anyways, it's gonna go to Rusty Bardish, and then of course Barbar's gonna trigger the special summon good old Cherubini back again. Because you know it's never enough fun to not play with a single monster. Then that's going to bring out this yo-yo cycling wheeler dude who also comes out as long as you have a level 3 monster on the field. Again, Nathan, I believe, is going for the OTK. I would have doubt he's probably not trying to do anything else but go for an OTK, but I don't know. I'd have to see how exactly he's going to go forward with the game state. So anyways, it looks like, of course, Rusty Bardish is resolving here. It's going to set the one the trap card. That's again going to allow itself to play on the field. Looks like he's going to banish. So anyways, we have the boots. We have a bunch of stuff going on. It looks like we have torn scales, boots, Cherubini, a whole bunch of stuff is all over the place right now. And I do mean like a whole bunch of stuff is all over the field. I mean, monsters have got it exploded onto the field, vomited. But that's PK fire for you. I'm vomiting up. Alright. So now we're going to overlay there. That's going to trigger Dante. It's kind of interesting. He's going to go Dante. But anyways, let's begin the meal. The mill of Dante. Dante does get a buff for when it goes for the mill of 3. It's still very interesting exactly what Connor's set is, but if it was Demise of Land, I think Demise of Land states when a card is special summoned. So if a card was special summoned, he could have triggered Demise of Land. But anyways, here we go for a mill. Okay, so it looks like a boat, a boots, a cloak, and whatever his third card was. But Dante, it doesn't really matter. Dante does get the power buff off of the banish of the mill here again. Now, if it was in Pure Burning Abyss, it'd be a little different. All right.
A lot of people play that. Fair enough. I am 1-1.
Okay. We'll have to really see how this all goes now. Again, Nathan can easily just make another 3, like a. Yeah, I guess he could go break sword and then break sword, but I don't know. We'll have to see kind of what he does. Cause I believe his plan is probably to go to 𝐒𝐿, to go to F0 here, but it looks like we're just going to go Legionnaire effect to take whatever is currently banished, and special summoning that being a cloak. The cloak effect is going to target the Rusty Bardish to, of course, turn itself into defense here. So anyways, we're gonna have to
We're taking this sign down. The Astral Radiant sign that's on the store. The Astral Radiant sign that's on the store. I'm taking it down.
Okay, so we'll have to see where. So it looks like he's gonna trigger Cherubini here. Does he actually have something to pitch for Cherubini? Okay, no, it's Seer. Seer is the other one. Right, Barbar is a different one. It's Seer and Graph. So anyways, now we're going to summon the Phantom Knight's trap card again, showing Connor there that he doesn't have any trap cards to actually to resolve the card while it is set on the field currently. And again, basically use it that turn. PK Fire has always been interesting to me. It's always made me really happy to see, especially with it in Master Duel. But I know for a fact a lot of these cards are probably up there as URs. But again, I have my Greats from Master Duel. I've already got my Diamond 1. I think that's Triple Burst. Is that triple burst? So we're gonna have to figure this. So anyways, we got gloves here triggering, sending of course that trap card. Then that trap card is probably going to get banished. Not that I think he needs to worry about this turn, but I'm trying to figure out what is that Link monster? That triple burst dragon? That's a very interesting idea for triple burst. But anyways, the trap card coming out to summon yet another cloak, so he can go into another rank 3, or he could go into a Link monster or whatever. Oh. Or whatever. But anyways, it looks like our opponent wanted to do some math. I'm not exactly sure where he thought the legality was in that. They're allowed calculators. Again, now you have to keep track of life points on paper if we were in YCS and stuff, but you can use a calculator. I mean, not everyone is in deaf to math. And some people do like to do their math on a calculator. So anyways, Dante's coming in, Rusty Bardish, whatever that Link monster is, and then Cloak, and of course, then the one and only Levener. So I'm pretty sure with that many monsters on the field, I'm pretty sure it was all over, and it was a reckless greed. Just nothing you could see there to help it, and Nathan walks away with game 2. Poor Connor couldn't get over the fact with the Exodia good stuff. Nothing there to trigger and help with, as we now end round 2. Well, not fully, but I will be back in just a minute. I'm going to get some stuff, and I will be back here. All right, folks, welcome to it. It's time for round number 3. And welcome into a very interesting round. It's been a long time since we've had DT up here. A long time. But anyways, we've seen Gage before with Shadal, Despia, and DT with Libromancers. Now, let me tell you, I have no idea what this deck does. I've never played it. Oh, Punk Libromancer? Libromancer Punk. Okay, we got Libromancer and then the Punk on there as well. Punks everywhere, everyone. So anyways, the Punk engine is without it is interesting in its own right. You've never seen it. So it should be quite interesting here as we let everyone get ready to go set up their board, set up their decks, and get ready. So it should be interesting. Punks are all about cycling out their punk stuff. They're all level 3 psychics. Or I think them one is a level 3 psychic. But yeah. So we're going to get ready for everything. It looks like everyone is nearly ready to go. So we're going to see how it goes here. Here we go. Anyway, well, we're going to start pre-preparation, right? I know the Libromancers are all a ritual-based deck in their own right, as I'm going to try to pull up a bunch of, things here as I try to figure out how the Libromancers work for you all, since I've yet to see this deck, yet to play against it. I'm pretty sure I don't even think this is in Master Duel, which a lot of times is how I get anything. So anyways, we're going to get... So anyway, so now we have Libro. So anyways, it looks like he's going to use a field spec here to get a Libromancer agent to his hand. We've yet to see the Punk engine yet, but... Okay, I know. Alright, anyways, here we go. So, anyways, we have the agent here, what it can do is you can reveal one ritual monster from your hand. Your hand special summon this card from your hand and target one Libromancer card in your graveyard, except add it to your hand, and if you add a spell or trap by this effect, place one card from your hand at the bottom of the deck. Alright, so anyway, and then we have the Doom Broker here. Libromancer Doom Broker. You can ritual summon this card with Libromancer card. If this card is ritual summoned by using monsters on the field, it can attack directly. You can only use each of the following effects of Libromancer Doom Broker once per turn. During your main phase, you can set one Libromancer, which he did. Answer trap directly from your deck. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck. That's a pretty neat card there. Doom Broker does have 2,500 attack. And I know they just got a bunch of new stuff. Woo, man, they are like cheap. I guess 6.5. So anyways, here we go for the Punk engine here. So anyways, now this is going to trigger. So anyways, the Punk DT is going to take 600 off this Punk here, and then he's going to be able to search out a Punk and add it to his hand. That's kind of the name. And then I think it's a Noah. Noah can then send from hand to then special summon, I think, another Punk. But it looks like no, we're just going to end with the Doom Broker and the trap card. So it looks like we're triggering anything. So I'm just trying to figure out what he said. Probably a counter trap. There is Libromancer intervention. So it did look like that was Libromancer intervention. When your opponent activates a card or effect, target one Libromancer ritual monster you control, return in the hand. If you do negate the activated effect, and then you do negate the activated effect, then you special summon Libromancer from your hand or graveyard. So anyways, we got an Ash on the patchwork there, stopping the patchwork as we now have Shaddoll Fusion. Wow, that was the last card in his hand. So, I mean, sooner or later you thought about it. But anyways, here we go for the Windy. Again, Windy does state that both players are now... no, it's Winda. The Winda is now restricted, of course, to one. It is restricted to only one special summon per turn. I mean, that does hurt DT, but it does hurt Gage as well. It is reciprocal to both players, which is still nice for Winda. So then it looks like then Hedgehog is going off. I believe he sent a Squamata because he needed at least a Shaddoll monster in his hand to even Shaddoll summon a Shaddoll because of the nature of, well, all Shaddolls need a Shaddoll. And then a opposite. But anyways, it looks like then Hedgehog, of course. And then it's going to add the Windy there. But yeah, he was chanting to, I think, to activate another Patchwork. But the problem is he actually can't trigger another Patchwork because he already attempted it. Even though it got Ash, it doesn't negate the activation, it just negates the effect of the monster. So now we're going to normal summon Windy. Oh, that's an Eldritch.
That's something that happened.
Oh, wow, that's an Eldritch. But yeah, Eldritch is coming down with 35. Again, that is Gage's one special summon for the turn. I'm not exactly sure how DT gets through the Windy, the Winda, though. I mean, the Winda is annoying in its own right. So it looks like we're going to go for the Libromancer here. Windy into the Punk. And then, of course, 22 direct from the Winda. And then, of course, then the 600, of course, that DT also took. So there's all the damage DT took for this turn. So, and a very interesting tech here from Gage with his Shaddoll. Despia throwing in the big Golden Lord himself. So it looks like another first appearance, allowing him to, of course, get another Libromancer. But the problem, again, he is under the one special summon rule for Winda. But, I mean, if he does get through, and he is choosing Fire here, unless Fire has, like, some way to remove the wind. Now, yes, the Golden Lord is annoying in his own right, but he's not impossible to kill. You reveal one ritual monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand. If this card special summon, you can add one Libromancer monster from your deck to your hand, except Libromancer Fire. Fire currently is 18, so he doesn't have enough power to punch over the Winda. And now, so now, so it looks like he summoned the punk monster. He got off the first punk monster, and now he's going to pay the 600. So now he's going to be adding a punk trap card off of the fire. So anyways, we have the punk trap again. The Golden Lord will be going back down to 2500 at the when Gage starts his turn, and can't do much. Gage is only on one draw here because he had to send the patchwork off to summon Mr. Golden Lord. DT still has his special summon for the turn. Well, Doombroker is here, and that means Doombroker does get to actually trigger his effects. So anyways, here we go for Doombroker as well. So it looks like we had a set trap. I didn't see what it is, but very strong already. The ability of the first appearance here. What? There it is, Libromancer first appearance. When this card is activated, you can add one Libromancer monster from your deck to your hand with a different name than the cards you control. During your main phase, you can ritual summon one Libromancer ritual monster from your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed its level. Then you can activate one. You can activate one of these spell cards. So anyways, now we're going to go into a link. Now that Winda is, of course, gone on the field. Now we're going to go to Dagda. A little interesting, but I guess he can still trigger both the punk trap and the Libroman. No, I don't think he has the Libromancer trap. So interesting. As right now, Gage does have Shadow Fusion. I would not have probably done that. But we'll have to see exactly how DT is going to play through this with the Dagda up on the field. Dagda, of course, could not resolve its effect to, I guess, set aside. But it looks like we're going to punch and then game with the Golden Lord. Oh, that's so sad. DT was really, really good there. I really don't understand what the summon of the Dagda. Dagda was because the Golden Lord goes back to 25 at the end of the turn, and can be back to card effects. It had to be sent to the graveyard to trigger. But it's just gonna be kind of.
I wasn't going to side block you.
It was kind of interesting. I would have thought more or less just if it was me to have just punched over the Winda. It looks like the punk monster could not kill the Windy, and then just kind of sit there with them. You have the trap. You have a couple of trap cards. You have a couple of trap cards, one of which can trigger because you have the Libromancer card. I was just kind of interested why Dagda. Why go to Dagda? I'm just kind of interested in the reason for going into Dagda instead of just keeping with the board's presence he already had on the field with the Libromancer, Doombroker, and the Punk monsters. So we'll have to see. I mean, it was pretty good. DT actually got the set up. Did almost stop all of Gage's plays. Literally, I mean, the only thing Gage literally had left was the the one and only Shadow Fusion. So I mean, if it had not been Shadow Fusion or any major card, then yeah, would have been very hard for Gage to get forward. Get moving forward. So we'll have to see how this moves forward for us all. So we'll have to see exactly how DT gets going. Whether or not he's going to take first again to try to set up, or he's going to let Gage go first and set up. I guess that's going to be the question of the day. With the interest of this, we'll have to see how this deck goes, because DT still has a very strong presence to get But anyway.
Shit, I've been doing that. I'll lose game 1, then game 2 and 3 be fine.
But anyways, let's begin it. How is Gage? Who is starting it? Who is going? Who's moving forward? So we're gonna start off with some 𝐸 here. That's probably gonna get him. So very interesting. So this Libromancer just comes out, Geek Boy, and then he's can grab first appearance.
Game 2 and 3, my deck's like now.
And then now we're gonna get going here. Now first appearance is gonna get him a Libromancer monster, and then he's gonna be able to trigger if he wishes for first appearance as well. Gage looks like he is going to be responding with nothing. But anyways, Doombroker is now out as well. I want to see exactly how DT is going on this board present right here. He's yet to normal summon because again, 𝐸. So now we have the fire. So now he's going to Libromancer. So now he's going to add yet another Libromancer monster, except for of course the fire itself. So anyways, here we go for yet another Libromancer, and again he is yet to it all normal summon. So he still has normal summoning conditions, a normal summoning condition here. So this is going to be quite interesting of how this gets going. So it looks like we have Angel. This is going to then bring out the Doombroker, and then he's going to set a looks like he's going to set the intervention. I think that is a pass. But he's still got the 2. He could go into like a Dagda if he wanted to Sight Lock, if that's his plan.
Can't Ash intervention. Or not the set, because it's a set, it's not a search.
It's not a search, folks. Can't hit the Doombroker's effect. Ash states that if you add it, setting a card directly from the deck is not adding a card. That is not in any consideration of the word. So don't let your people ash you if you're starting to set, especially Dynamorphia. It does the same thing. You can't ash the main Dynamorphia. So yeah, I was pretty much right on the link there. I'm just kind of questioning where. So we're gonna go Hulk. Now we're gonna trigger to get a tuner to the field. Jet Secret. Yes, the man himself is returned to Providence.
I thought that would make Tyler happy.
Yes. It does. Now we got old Jet Synchron. Now we got old Jet Synchron back. And of course now we get to see Jet Synchron back in the format again.
He's a one-card combo of the whole deck, and it's funny.
Well, yeah, so we're going to link summon those 2 off. That, of course, is going to be able to trigger... Sure, over there, DT, sure. You can summon your Rorodon as much as you want. I think that card's illegal. If we were all Master Duel, sure, we can go into a Rorodon because that's not how you normally do it.
Unicorn.
So now we're going to go into Unicorn. And Unicorn can't trigger its effect. There's nothing for Unicorn to spin back, but it is a 3. I'm going to end on that. I'm interested to end on the Unicorn, but I guess it is 22. I mean, it is a 22.
Where to stop it is if he does it right.
So we'll have to see here how exactly as we begin with a Shaddoll fusion from good old Gage. The question is, would that get a response? I mean, the question is, you do have. I mean, Shaddoll fusion is a hard once per turn effect card. So now we're going to trigger intervention that is going to stop the Shaddoll fusion. So the question is there branded fusion? And now we got a Patchwork. And then we're going to go triggering the Patchwork. But the question is, does he have... Well, I mean, if he has 2 monsters in hand, he can go for any one thing. The question is, what are his monsters to go into? I mean, we still don't know what DT's other set is. We know one of them was set directly from the deck, that being the Libromancer intervention. So we'll have to see kind of where Gage goes next. He does have the polymerization. Now we have the Alabaz. And then we're going to imperm that So no
Scares me.
no getting anything off the Jester here. That still leaves whatever Gage has left and a chain and polymerization still left in hand. And now we're gonna go polar here.
Right after. Okay. Here.
So anyways, here we. So it looks like we're gonna send, I believe, a Windy and a chain to the graveyard. That, of course, is then going to summon out Winda yet again. Again, not really imperative as long as DT can get the necessary resources to go back into Doombroker. Because Doombroker can easily punch over a Winda and then go from there for the special summoning. But anyways, we have the effect Windy setting the beast. And then we, of course, are going to be getting a patchwork off of that chain. Very strong combo there. I'm still very impressed with the fact that they chain patchwork combo that Despia decks have been playing. But anyways, where does Gage go from here? Does he got any more fusions to play, or is he kind of just out of it? So it looks like he's handing the deck over, which means no more going into it. Most of the time you see a cut like that, it usually means your opponent has offered to no longer go into said deck. So anyways, 200 coming off of the Winda coming in, and of course the Jester cannot punch over the Unicorn, as the Unicorn is 22, and now we're going to be setting one, and we're going to draw. And now we have a Dark Rule no more, which means the Winda is turned.
Dark Rule. No.
It's going to be turned off. Again, Winda means that there is no more response. Now we have the Diviner triggering here, going off to send.
Just because I hate.
And then we're going to trigger for the Nintes. So it looks like. So anyways, Nintes going out, going to pop, and then that's going to get the fusion. Shows all fusion card. That's going to then we're going to spin back into a Doombroker.
But that's not what I do. Link something.
So now we're going to link away the Doombroker and to access code. And then we're going to trigger the access code talker here. And then we're going to hit for that. Can he hit for full damage? Can he OTK?
In response, you're gonna
Alright, well now the Unicorn has been banished here, meaning that and now we're gonna trigger the tactics here, and then that's gonna give DT another draw too. The access code talker again, like I said, is 53k right now, so we'll be running over everything. And then we're gonna be flipping the beast.
I get to draw 2 cards and discard a card. Discard this.
Yeah, I think that actually gets to go off because of
Where your life points at, Gage? Okay, so 53 and 22.
We'll have to see. Does tactics? We'll have to see. But that is very close. That is 75. 7,500.
78.
78. Okay.
Faster.
And the beast goes back to Gage's field again. Now Gage has to deal with this 5,300 good old access talker. That is a
Tactics puts in work when you have the card.
That is a powerful house, and of course tactics saving pretty much DT there. He could have used tactic. So anyways, there's a I think they're just reading through the access code talker. There's nothing access code talker can really do right now. It can't negate anything, but I don't think anything. Well, the only thing in Despia that could help would be to Mirror Jade, but
just to be fair, I still could have done it with that because I could just get rid of him.
So it's very interesting exactly how we get from there. So we got the fusion going off here. Again, DT only has no hand. He only has what he set here.
5,300.
So we'll have to see how exactly Gauge gets through 5,300. But anyway, Shaddoll Fusion can now pitch stuff out of Gauge's deck to Shaddoll to fusion for a Shaddoll monster. Oh no, he can actually go to Construct, right? Construct actually take you right through that.
On Construct Summon. Impermanent Construct.
So the Construct has been turned off this turn, so it means Construct actually cannot damage and cannot destroy 𝐿𝐷𝐄𝐒 in damage step. So anyways, I don't know how Gauge gets through this unless he summons another Construct. I mean, he has to get another light to do it. But we know for a fact he only has a. We know for a fact he has a patchwork in his hand because he gotten it off the chain. So I mean, that is the question.
You'll be brought back Monday. Because I don't work Monday. 3-day weekend.
Could you do that?
Nope,
I mean,
I got him.
that probably means Construct can do it. But the question is, does he have any more chains? Because Patchwork has to resolve with chain, has to resolve to grab a chain. And I know Gauge has said he's only playing 2 chains and 3 Patchwork, so 2 chain, 2 polymerizations, and 2 Patchwork. So now that the battle has gone forward, now you have to deal with Construct. And how do you get through her? That is the question that you have to constantly ask yourself. How do you do that?
I know!
Because now,
how the cards work, Gauge. I played Shaddoll forever.
Now, I don't know how DT actually gets through this. 𝐿𝐷𝐄𝐒 cannot respond. 𝐿𝐷𝐄𝐒 doesn't have anything to destroy, so it can't blow up. Oh, I guess if activating first appearance is without a doubt a good start to the entirety of the deck. I mean, we're gonna have to see. But anyways, it looks like we're going to be getting that. But I'm trying to think. How is? I think almost all the Libromancers are like high levels. I mean, sure, he's got the. Oh, no, you could normal summon them, but I think they only get their effects if they're specialed. So I mean, that is a problem when you really don't have a way to pop the Construct off of the field. So I'm not exactly sure how DT gets through this. The fact that Construct is right now. So we'll have to see exactly how DT can do it. I mean, he knows for a fact that none of his Libromancers can truly trigger. He's only got the 𝐿𝐷𝐄𝐒, which will die to the Construct next turn. I mean, sure, he can punch some of the things and hope maybe his next couple cards help him out, but I'm just not sure. I guess. Oh no, I guess it could work that way too. I mean.
Battle phase. Go to face down.
So anyways, we have, it looks like good old Hedgehog, of course, adding Schism here. So we'll have to figure out kind of where this is kind of.
It's a weird play, but it's worth it.
It's kind of going.
Phase 2. Normal summon Geek Boy. Link summon.
And now we're going to go into what? Exactly. Where exactly does the Digda go from here? Because I'm kind of confused of how normal summoning, removing the 𝐂𝐍𝐶𝐘𝐒, and then kind of just going from there does anything. I mean, sure, Dagda's great, but unless Dagda suddenly has a burn on him. But I'm not exactly sure how this is going, but I guess DT must know something more than I do. I guess he knows more than I do. Personally, I think I would have probably cracked the 𝐂𝐍𝐶𝐘𝐒 to pop, and then, oh, I see. We're gonna trigger Dagda here. Oh, there's a Golden Lord coming out, everyone. Yep, I still don't see. Well, I guess you can still survive it. I don't think DT. I don't think DT's taking much in the way of damage. So, interesting. Now that the scythe is, of course, set to the field, summoning is kind of dead, but I'm just trying to think exactly where DT's line of play is. A Golden Lord is now on the field at 35k. 3,500, I should say. We got Shadow Fusion triggering off, which of course allows that to go off. We're going to be seeing another. We're going to see a Winda. We'll just have to kind of see where this ends. I think this wins in some aspect or another.
I lived with you for 6 months. I know for a fact you deserved it.
So we'll have to see, because now we have the 𝐿 coming out, and then the 𝐿 is going to, of course, trigger here. The Jester is going to get a Despia card to his hand. I didn't see what it was, but I'm probably guessing it's branded in red.
I noticed.
But yeah. So the 𝐿 is going to run over Dagda, and then we're going to swing with 28-35, and we got 𝐒𝐍𝐻 getting the win there. Alright, everyone, welcome to the last round of the tournament. We have here Christian with Harpy Tri-Brigade, and we have Malachi. Malachi not on Code Talkers today, but on Buster Dogmatica branded. BDB. I will try not to say that much more. Alright, but anyways, this is of course the last round of the day. So anyways, the Busters is the Dragon Busters. Which is a very interesting archetype. If you've never seen Dogmatica is just Dogmatica, and well, we've seen enough branded today to know exactly how branded Despia works. But anyways, Harpy Tri-Brigade is without a doubt a very interesting deck. This is playing the all Tri-Brigade cards just need Wing Beasts to utilize for their Link summoning, and the Harpies of course have quite a lot of Harpy level spell and trap card removal in their maneuverability.
What? Malachi's a fucking idiot. How am I an idiot? So it turns out I mean, how much time you got?
So let's will be very interesting to see how all this wraps up as we look at the top 3 decks here. Currently in our places is Zen-Gage and Nathan with DT, Logan, Malachi, Josh, and Christian all also at 2-1. So quite a lot of 2-1s out there.
I mean, the problem with that is if he starts moving, we start running because there's something chasing him.
So we're going to be rolling some dice here to discover who's going first here as we get moving forward to the last round here. So let us move forward to our final round. It looks like a majority are ready to go, so I think it's time to finish today. Alright, here we go, everyone. So, nonetheless, Tri-Brigades all want to start the same, but anyways, we're going to start with a Dragon Whelp. All of them have some different effect. Buster Whelp was back in the day, so this one's going to get one of the Buster Trap cards here for him, but also back in the day, Dragon Buster Whelp was how you Buster locked people with using Union Carrier. In some aspect, it's still legal in Master Duel, not legal here in the TCG. It got banned because of Dragon Link. Not very interactive. So anyways, it looks like we're triggering a spell card here. So anyways, it looks like he's revealing a Buster Blader card in his extra deck to look like he's going to be special summoning a Buster Blader. Yes, he is. There is a generic old Buster Blader. That is not the new Buster Blader that came out with all the Buster Blader support. But anyways, now we have Branded Fusion. Man, who would have thought that a deck called Branded would be using Branded Fusion? I mean, if this deck plays stuff, that'd be pretty cool too. We'll have to see. We still have, like I said, quite a lot of people running all over the place at 2-1, and only one of them will be in third place. All these 2-1s. Of course, you know, it's all going to be on tiebreakers, which is extremely interesting. So anyways, it looks like we're going to be summoning Lubin here, and we know how this works. Lubin is then going to remove a card. It looks like, yep. I don't know, did he Okay, now we are at a proper game state. Here, I thought it was a little interesting. Malachi was resolving that without resolving it. But anyways, we have Masquerade Dragon over there, preparing itself to start the burn process, everyone. And then we're going to be setting one card face down. So we have a Buster Blader, which is 25. So Malachi is going to be losing, apparently, I guess, half his life points to, it looks like, I think this actually allows him to, I think it allows him to synchro summon here. I know they have like a very interesting set of traps. But yes, okay, so yes, this is the Buster Dragon that turns all monsters on the field into dragons. So yeah, and then you can resolve off of the insanity of everything being a dragon now. So anyways, we're going to start off with a... So anyways, we have a Harpy here coming down here. Again, this is going to allow him to search out a spell and trap card. Now, the issue is that since everything is dragon, I believe the Synchro one allows him to negate. So I think that's Elegant Eaglance, which allows you to summon a Harpy Sisters, but I think you have to target a Harpy Lady to do it. So we'll have to actually kind of figure out where, yeah. So yes, we have the Elegance. I think almost all lot.
My opponent's trying to play Magic. Can I get him banned for that or disqualified for that?
I just immediately said move to untap.
And then Chris, so now
really did. He draws his card. Untap. Huh?
That happens die hard.
So anyways, now we have a Harpy Lady out here, coming off of the Elegance Eaglance ability here. So anyways, now we have two level 4s on the field. I'm not exactly completely sure what it is. But anyways, then we're going to be activating the Harpy field spell. When a Harpy is normal special summon, it has to pop a set a Harpy. But again, none of them are winged beast or in essence anything. They're actually now dragons because of the dragon, because the Buster Dragon Synchro monster. And that's one of its literal effects, is that while it's face up in the field, everything is literally dragon. It's nice when everything is dragon, because all are dragon. So it looks like there's a question on it. So it looks like I believe a lot of the Heartbeat cards can actually be activated as long as you control activated from how. So it looks like there was a description on the trap card about controlling Wing Beast, but again, right now So anyways, as right now again, the tribe card could have been activated in hand to resolve, but the issue is that there is no winged beasts on the field because again, they are all dragons. Again, the synchro monster is making it that way. Turning everything to dragon. All is dragon. Fear the dragon. So I have to kind of figure out where exactly this goes. So anyways, now we're going to start probably some of the Tri Brigade engine here. The Tri Brigades can still do everything. I don't know if they're Draga in Grave or if Dragon just on field. Because if they're Dragon in Grave, it kind of just hurts the entire Tri Brigade engine. Because the Tri Brigade...
Judge, plagiarism.
Overruled! I forgot you were here!
I did.
So anyways, now we're going to... so anyways, we have Farajet triggering here. We're going to discard. I have never seen this effect of Farajet before, but I guess... But I'm guessing that... Alright, well, we're just scooping it up. Right, the Farajet, right, he can't even go to Farajet, they're all dragons. When all is dragon, nothing is but dragon. Right, we have to remember that. But anyways, Malachi taking the quick win there. His opponent basically scooping, they had basically passed, way past. I should have probably. There we go.
Oh no, that's Spanish, isn't it? So yeah, okay, that one's Spanish.
But yeah, so with everything being Wing Beast, there was no way out of a deck that needed Wing Beast and everything being Dragon. Well, you can't do much when everything is Dragon, for all is Dragon. When all is Dragon, there is nothing but Dragon. But yeah, that is a very strong aspect of the fact that the Tri Brigade deck definitely needs its stuff to be very specifically Wing Beast, Wing Beast, Beast Warrior, and Beast. But the problem is, if nothing is that on the field because they're all Dragon, well, how exactly do you play Tri Brigade? Now, there's 0% chance here that Christian is not going to be going first here so that he can set up his board presence, set up for the Tri Brigade build, which is commonly just to end on something with Revolt so that you can Revolt into the Shurag, trigger Shurag. But anyways, now we have out a Harpy here, and now we're going to be triggering something to look like we're going to be searching out another an egotistic. So anyways, now he's got the elegant egotist into his hand to allow him to get to the Harpy card. For all of...
No, it's not in the same call. I thought it was the same call.
No, it has.
But anyways, so now we have out a Harpy Lady. I don't know if that's number 1, 2, or number 3 off the Elegant Eaglance. Eaglance. So that's a pretty without it. So we'll see. Like I said, it's going to be very interesting exactly where a lot of these people place all together. So we're going to have to figure it out. Right now, we have a couple of Wing Beasts onto the field, which means now the Tri Brigade engine can be started, which is probably where we're going to go back into Farajet and trigger Farajet. And trigger off Farajet. It's interesting he has yet to see any aspect of any of the Tri Brigade cards. But anyways, here comes Farah. The Farajet, the kitty cat. Her is she a cat? Or is she a ferret? But anyways, Farajet summoning off of the Narval. There is the Narval. Narval, of course, coming out happily more than ever. And now with Narval, he can now trigger Narval effect, banishing the 2 Winged Beasts to then summon yet another Tri Brigade, Link monster here. Of course, that is going to be Bear Broom. That's exactly what you need because you need the Bear Broom to get into your Revolt. So anyways, sometimes you see the Bear Broom's effect to, I think, pitch 2 cards to get a banished card back to your hand, but it's not always useful. So So anyways, it looks like we're going into a rag. Yes, that it looks to be. No, that would be no way the silver sheller. Okay, so anyways, Farajet drew and put a card at the bottom of the deck, and then triggering here Bear Broom as Chain Link 1 to get Tri Brigade Revolt, and then of course then a card will have to be put from his hand at the bottom of his deck by the effect of Revolt. Alright, apologies, I had to catch that again there, but we got that before any major warnings or anything like that. Common misplay that people think that you put on the bottom and then you shuffle. No, you shuffle, then you put the bottom. You put the bottom, there's no shuffling after the effect has resolved. So anyways, we're gonna put that. So I'm still wondering, is that a sure rag? Because most people go into Appaloosa. Even app for 2 is not. Even app for 2 is not bad. So now we're gonna set one and we're giving it over to Malachi. So we'll have to see exactly where all of this goes. The problem is that Malachi does have to realize that Revolt is still very much active at all times on this board presence. Like I said, a lot of times you kind of have to bait. But anyways, here comes the one Despia dragon. So anyways, you can reveal it. Send I believe a Fallen Alabaz to the graveyard, and then depending on where exactly you put it, is it where it gets its effect. I believe it goes to the deck, you draw a card. Goes to the bottom of the deck, you get to draw a card, which I believe is what is happening. It is going to go to the bottom of the deck. And then it's going to allow a draw for good old Malachi here. He still has to be cautious because the fact is Revolt being a trap card means that at any point in time it can be triggered to summon the good and one and only Shorag. So I'm still trying to think if that's Silver Sheller there or if that's Shorag already on the field. So anyways, now we're going to special up summon out 𝐂𝐍𝐍 for all of us, and then 𝐂𝐍𝐍 effect, and then we're gonna have Fluere come out as well. Apparently 𝐂𝐍𝐍 forgot to trigger her effect, but it looks like Shurag will not be able to activate his effect. I don't know if that triggers on yet another Shurag when Shurag triggers again, but at least one Shurag will not be banishing. No wait, Shurag is a hard once per turn. But anyways, then we're going to trigger Fallen Alabaz. Alright, now the Fallen Alabaz will be triggering as soon as Malachi pitches. Thank you. And I was going to make Mirror Jade here. And then on response, we're going to, it looks like Mirror Jade might have been chaining in its quick effect to banish. And then here we go for the effect of Revolt. And then that's all going to go away, and that's going to, of course, summon out Shurag. If I'm having to take a guess on it, yep, here comes another Shurag. And then must not have wanted to activate any of the Shurags of anybody in the grave. I mean, you get to choose whether or not you want to activate them. If you want to activate them at all. But anyways, Mirror J banishing. Kind of lost. Shurag should have banished on play. No, wait, no. Unless Fluere negates all of Shurag's effects, even another Shurag. I mean, they're not calling me over, so I can't run over there to be on game state because I really don't know what's going on with these players right now. But anyways, Fluere going D1, and then we're going to out trigger Narval. Narval is going to be able to get a card to his hand. Okay, going to grab the good old Curry Bull, Cuirass. So now, of course, we have Ecclesia Mirror Jade, I believe, triggered its effect to banish, so it can't trigger again. So on Christian's turn, Mirror Jade cannot trigger. And then, of course, we now have Ecclesia, the other Dogmatica person, I forget, I know I just spoke the name into presence. And then the 3K coming off of Mirror Jade. So yeah, very interesting right here. So then we're going to... Now we're going to go into the Buster Blink monster. So he's going to send out a Buster. Looks like he's sending a Buster Blader to the graveyard. I believe this is how you get Dragon Buster. I've no Dragon Links played this, but I can't remember how they used to do Dragon Links. I cannot remember how Dragon Links utilized that effect. So we will have to be a little cautious on the fact that so it looks like we're going to be banishing out 3 cards. So now we're going to summon out Buster Blade. The Dragon Buster Sword, the dude. It's the biggest, it's their big synchro monster that they like to use in the deck. Alright, and I know for a fact he's like just like a big beat stick with it. I think he helps dragons and all of that. Anyways, a normal summon of the Cuirass. Cuirass is going to activate its effect, paying the cost to banish, to then special summon out dudes. Here we go for 4, so that probably means he's going Omen again? I mean, that's a lot of going on for Omen when you could just use one of them as their link rating. Look like a another Shirag and a couple of things, and we're going to summon Silver Sheller. So I know Silver Sheller on your opponent can quick effect to special summon out a to special summon out a Tri-Brigade monster from your graveyard. My gosh, I couldn't talk there for a second. God, I still can't talk. But anyways, we're going to be setting 1, and I'm not exactly sure where... Okay, so I guess we're ending with Silver Sheller and Cuirass. So we have a Dragon Whelp here coming down, and this is going to allow him to search out a trap card, which is probably going to search out the one that's going to allow him to synchro summon from his synchro summon into, of course, the dragon. The dragon itself that turns everything into dragon. All is dragon. So anyways, yeah. So it looks like Malachi has 2 sets. Is he going to be going into battle here? I mean, he's got, I think, like 3K beat sticks. So now it looks like we're going to be triggering this. Okay, so it looks like he is going to summon himself out a Buster Blader. This is the spell card that allows him to summon out Buster Bladers. So here we go for good old Buster Blader, the traditional Buster Blader, the man himself, the good old... was he vanilla? I think he was a vanilla. I think he was also a Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi monster. Yugi had a lot of monster archetypes. But yeah, so we got so here we go for swinging in. I think they're triggering Silver Sheller's effect when it hits graveyard. It does have all attack of all monsters, so now everything is of course. So anyways, it looks like there's some conversation there about Silver Sheller when it took the so we'll have to kind of see where we are moving next. So it looks like Mirror Jade, of course, is punching over the Kurras. And then coming in with the other guys as the rest of them come in. So it looks like is that just game there?
Because it's perfect circle. Until the last one is just over like 3 inches.
As that game, I think they're talking about the Link monster there, and its effects getting triggered to yeah. So there was a question about, of course, it looks like they messed up the fact of Silver Sheller's effect when it hits Grave. Some damage coming through. So question is, it looks like we're going. Malachi has 2 sets. And then, of course, on standby, it looks like he's going to turn everything to dragon. All is dragon.
I was like, okay, I gotta do it exactly right. I'm glad I put it from right. I was like, right here.
So we'll have to see. Now we're going to go into the Buster Blader. Now we're going to go into the dragon here. And but yeah, now all is dragon. Everything is dragon. So I don't really know how Christian gets through this with all being dragon unless he can remove dragon. So he's going to remove the final card, which is just good old, and it's just going to go to battle, and that is it. Malachi will be taking the win.